Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. There has never been a time where XRP has gone on a crazy rally on its own. It hasn't happened. The times when XRP has gone ballistic in terms of price action has happened when you're seeing true expansion in crypto markets. In true expansion in terms of, a breadth in crypto markets. That occurs when there's expansion. Also, there's always been this correlation. It happens when there's expansion in equities markets. So when stocks start going and truly expanding, it all just comes together. And we haven't seen that to this point. So, nobody knows for sure what's going to happen, but I want to share with you reason why I personally believe what's most probable is we are going to see expansion. And there is historic precedent for us being in the situation that we're in right now. And I've been noting for a long time, and I'm not the only one, that we're not really seeing small cap stocks expand. Like if you look at the Russell 2000 small cap stocks, it's lagging behind. And so we never have seen XRP go on a crazy rally in an environment like that. So is it going to change? Well, that's why I just want to share with you some data, and I think it's going to make you pretty happy. Because this is there absolutely is historic precedent for this. For the Russell to lag behind and then ultimately go, and crypto goes. And to think that XRP wouldn't be a part of that if we see true expansion in crypto markets, like that's insane to me. And there's also this article, which I found interesting from the Crypto Basic. It's here is XRP price if Ethereum hits $22,000 as predicted by Van Eck. And so I don't make price predictions. Wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum gets anywhere close to that this market cycle. I mean, if we're going to see expansion, sure. But if that happens, like XRP is going to put that growth to shame. There's way less money in XRP. It's way easier to get a much more substantial multiplier effect as a result. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so there's a post here from Eric Balkunas that name might sound familiar to you at this point. He is the senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg, and so he got pretty well known in the world of crypto for his reporting in the weeks and months leading up to the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF. Now has 310,000 followers, and he shared some interesting information, which the blockchain backer reposted. Now the blockchain backer simply wrote "sigh," and for good reason. So check this out. Eric Balkunas wrote the following. The top 10 biggest stocks in the S&P 500 contributed to 77% of the index's total return in H1. That's insane. That is the second highest ever reading of that number. Only time it's been higher was in Gulp 2007. And so you know what happened in 2007. Well, it was leading into the great financial collapse, obviously, the great financial crisis. And so there you can see, if you're looking at the screen, 77.2% came from the top 10 stocks. But, look at other years around here. Like, for instance, you can look at 2010, 2012. It's closer to like 19%. So that's pretty outrageous. You don't want to see that. It's consolidation, and the blockchain backer has been pointing out that, that's the behavior that you see when people are actually a bit fearful. So yes, the stock market, it's growing if you just look at the top line number, but people are too fearful to have that expand out into other stocks like small cap ones, which is why, again, the Russell 2000 not looking so hot right now. And I don't think that we're going to see expansion in crypto if the Russell 2000 isn't going to go. But is it going to go? And this is where I think, it's going to instill some confidence that it's certainly very possible. And always while acknowledging nobody knows for sure what's going to happen, is it reasonable to suppose that it is going to happen? Well, yeah, because there's a historic precedent for this. So look at this article from MarketWatch. Small caps continue to lag. That may be good news for the overall stock market. So here we go. And this, by the way, this was from January of this year. It doesn't matter because if you look at the Russell 2000, it hasn't exactly changed. This is still just as relevant as when it was first published. But check this out, because it's got historic price action. And that's why I want to highlight this. Because this is, as the blockchain backer has been saying, this is the key. If you want crypto to go, the Russell 2000 needs to go. It's got to run. Reads as follows. Small cap stocks have been lagging behind their large cap peers over the past 12 months. While frustrating to small cap investors, it may bode well for the stock market's future performance based on historical data, according to Charlie Bolello, chief market strategist at Creative Planning, a wealth management firm with over $200 billion assets under management. The S&P 500 rose 21% during the past 12 months, while the small cap equity gauge Russell 2000 gained only 4.9% during the same period, according to FactSet data. So folks, think about that. By comparison, that's barely ahead of inflation. That's not exactly ideal. But, you don't need to cry. Again, like I said, historic precedent for good stuff ahead. And they write, it's a potentially bullish sign for the market, Bolello said in a Monday note. Historically, stocks have experienced above-average returns following periods of small-cap underperformance, which would be weak breadth, and below-average returns following periods of small-cap outperformance, which would be strong breadth. And so, folks, it's very easy to understand this. He's just saying in terms of, what precedes what. If there's poor performance, that is what comes before the good performance. It's not exactly rocket science, but it is true, and there's data to show this. And by the way, I will also note this is true for XRP specifically. History shows that the moments where XRP is priced most poorly against Bitcoin, those are the moments right before it goes on a rip. That's where we are now. So all of this is actually lining up in a pretty good way. So check this out. Piece continues. Meanwhile, as S&P 500 currently trades near its record high, while the Russell 2000 remains almost 20% below its record close, the setup bodes well for stocks' performance in the next 12 months, according to Bolello. During the three previous biggest drawdowns of the Russell 2000, when the S&P 500 saw a record high, both indexes rallied in the following year, noted Bolello. Did you hear that, folks? During the three previous biggest drawdowns, again, of the Russell 2000, when the S&P 500 saw a record high, both indexes rallied in the following year. And while it's a small sample size, the Russell 2000 outperformed in the following year and joined the S&P 500 at the record highs, noted Bolello. And so, folks, I'm just saying the fact that it hasn't happened now, that in and of itself is not a concern. Plenty of historic precedent for this being the case. And so he's citing the most recent drawdown, that's fine. But go back decades and decades and decades, you can find other examples of this. This isn't weird. Anyway, piece continues. After the Russell 2000 saw a 19.2% decline from its local high in April 1999, the S&P 500 rose 14.3% over the following year, and the Russell 2000 gained 36.5% during the same period, noted Bolello. In February 1991, after the Russell 2000 experienced a 13.5% drawdown, the index went up 35.5% in the following year, while the S&P 500 increased 12.1%. And in January 1985, after the Russell 2000 saw a 13.3% decline, the S&P 500 rose 17.4% over the next year, and the Russell gained 18.2%, Bolello said. And so, folks, it's just data going back several decades, though. So, again, the fact that we are where we are right now, yes, it needs to change, but is that in and of itself something that should be scaring the hell out of us? I say no. And it doesn't mean for sure we're going to see expansion, and maybe everything just falls apart, and then we have a bear market for however many years, and then we have to wait. Okay, fine, maybe that happens. Should we think that's what's most probable, though? I'd argue no. I think what's most probable is we're going to be ripping dramatically to the upside, probably this calendar year. So take it for what it's worth there, but this is the key, which is why I said, I'm glad that the blockchain backer's been focusing on this. Absolutely credit where it's due. This is, as he stated, this is the key. If you want XRP to go and all of your altcoins, this is what we need to see. And the fact that it hasn't happened yet is okay. So far, it's okay. And so, yes, XRP expansion is coming. That's what I believe is most probable. Now, how much, though? That's always a fun topic, right? Here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. Here is XRP price if Ethereum hits $22,000 as predicted by Van Eck. XRP's price is likely to breach $3 if it follows Ethereum's price trajectory as ETH clinches Van Eck's $22,000 price target. And I got to say this at the outset. I think that's silly. That is such a low bar. So what they're talking about basically is percentage increases But you got to understand, there's way less money in XRP. So, for instance, just make up it doesn't matter what the numbers. Say the prediction is ETH's going to go up 500%, 1,000%. It doesn't matter. To think that XRP won't substantially outpace that because there's way less money, that's absurd. And especially with how long it's been consolidating, 6.5 years, it's absurd. So to say if ETH goes up so-and-so percentage, then XRP is going to do that percentage, and then that puts you at like $3, I'm like, fine, I'm not going to make a price prediction, but that seems a little low. Like that seems pretty damn low. Anyway, peace continues up. The current trading environment for cryptocurrencies is marked by significant volatility, both with Ethereum and XRP experiencing significant declines. Notably, Ethereum typically moves in correlation with Bitcoin, and XRP usually follows the path set by both assets during market uptrends and downturns. With Bitcoin now trading below the psychologically significant $65,000 threshold, Ethereum has equally collapsed underneath $3,500. Similarly, XRP price trades below the 50-cent support. Due to this correlation during the market dump, experts believe all three assets would secure similar surges when a recovery comes. And so, folks, well, that part I agree with. The asset class moves in tandem, and either we're going to see expansion or we're not, which is why I covered what I covered in this video, specifically with the Russell 2000. That is the key. You should be tracking that. Like, absolutely. Each token has been a subject of price speculation and projections, and as of now, Ethereum stands at $3,435. Now, earlier this month, VanEck, a prominent asset manager, made an ambitious prediction that Ethereum could soar to $22,000. This forecast follows the US SEC's recent partial approval of spot Ethereum ETF filings, which could be a game changer for the market. VanEck's optimistic outlook on Ethereum suggests a possible rebound and impressive growth. If Ethereum reaches this predicted value, it will likely have far-reaching effects on the wider cryptocurrency market, including XRP. Such impacts materialized when ETH spiked 19% in a day last month as speculation of the SEC spot ETH ETF approval gained steam. Interestingly, XRP price recorded a surge as well, but only managed a 5.51% intraday gain on May 20th. XRP eventually surpassed 55 cents the next day. Yeah, and so obviously it wasn't XRP-specific news, but it impacted the entire market, so fair enough here. But check this out. They write, notably, if Ethereum rises from $3,435 to $22,000, as predicted by VanEck, it would represent a staggering 540.6% increase. If XRP experienced a similar percentage growth, its price could see a substantial jump. Applying this percentage increase to XRP's current price of 47 cents, we find that XRP could potentially reach around $3.06. Okay, but why are we applying that exact same standard to XRP? Why would you think it would be that low? There's so little money in XRP comparatively. It takes way less money flowing in to get a crazy multiplier effect. I'm just saying, if we're going to have market expansion, and ETH really does go to $22,000, which is, I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's within the realm of possibility. To think that XRP isn't going to substantially outperform that is ridiculous. Because again, that's only going to happen if there's true expansion in the market. XRP, my God. Time to shine, you know? I'd be shocked if we only see $3 XRP if we're going to see expansion in the market. To me, that's laughable. I just don't think that's what's most probable. But we do need to keep watching to see if expansion is going to occur. I'm just saying, you know, this isn't particularly alarming right now. This is historically what we're in right now, what we're seeing, it is normal. Now, I understand why when the blockchain backer wrote side, and he's highlighting this post from Eric Falcunas, I understand. You know, this is at the higher end of what you don't want to see with, again, 77.2% of gains coming from the top 10 companies. And also, last time we saw something even close to that, it was right before the great financial collapse. I got it. I understand. That in and of itself could be alarming, but it doesn't mean that we necessarily won't see expansion. So it is what it is. I just wanted to. I think it's an uplifting message, honestly. I think expansion coming is most probable, a historic precedent for it, and we just need to keep being patient. That's pretty much it. So even on a day like today where the market went down, fine. There are good days, there are bad days. Today was bad in terms of directionally where we're going in price, but that in and of itself doesn't really necessarily mean anything. I think the best days are yet ahead, and we go and find out together. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.